Do y'all know who Shroud is? Ever heard of Shroud before?
Maybe?
Blabs?
Should I?
Shroud?
Like a shroud of darkness?
No. Shroud is probably one of the more recognized. Early in Twitch, he was a massive creator. He got signed by, I believe, Mixer. Isn't that right? Didn't he go to Mixer for a little bit, Vera?
Yep.
He's made a lot of money streaming. He's a very high-level player. But he had this to say about the current state in gaming, which I wanted to share with everybody. This is Shroud on people criticizing games then versus now here.
Only 5 years ago, everyone appreciated almost everything. Now, they fucking hate everything if it's not perfect. It's crazy how much has changed in 5 years. I'll still never forget. I was watching my Valhalla VOD 5 years ago, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and to see how positive my chat was, because I had the chat replay on or whatever, to see how positive it was in 2020 versus playing like Shadows or something now. Crazy. Weird dynamic. Like 5 years ago, people weren't dicks. They were just, they just knew what they didn't like and they didn't say anything about it. Now they're just, everybody's a dick, dude. Everybody's a dick. Online anyway. I mean, even in person, man. People are fucking shitty in person. I don't know what the hell happened in 5 years.
It's a good question. Good
Techno
question.
lies.
What happened? What happened, Vera? Why?
I don't know. I have absolutely no idea why people are upset with each other, with the games industry. I have no clue.
I found that really fascinating, and honestly, kind of tone deaf, I would say. You know, when it comes to the response to this, and by the way, the response below this tweet is exactly what you say here, right? Kate over here says, "Why is Shroud acting like there hasn't been gaming discourse since like forever?" Like, don't tell me how things weren't toxic if you weren't a part of the Nintendo Sega wars, the original console wars back in the early 90s. That was peak. I lost friends because they played Genesis and I like Super Nintendo. I'm just saying, right? Ridiculous. And, you know, just the idea of Shroud being like out of touch with things. But I have a few reasons why things may be different now versus, I don't know, 5 years ago, was there anything happening in 2020? Just
Budweiser virus.
Oh, I don't know. Something called the vid. The vid.
Well, possibly, maybe that kind of woke people up, right? Maybe got a little more brave. Possibly that may have been a thing. The evolution of social media and algorithms, right? Algorithm bias is a real thing for sure. Separating off into echo chambers. But let's not forget changes in the gaming industry practices with higher expectations, pumping things out a little bit faster.
DEI.
Remakes, reboots, rehashes. Yeah, ESG and DEI initiatives being the norm. I would say one of the major problems is feminism as well.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Delays, high profile releases getting delayed. Just a total shift in appreciation to entitlement, perhaps, maybe like the idea of you're entitled to something. The economy has changed, obviously. People are more fatigued from overexposure. There may be too many games, right? When it comes to all these things. Some games have launched and fallen on their face. Speaking of Cyberpunk, right? Now that is recovered over time. No Man's Sky, that is recovered, but they launched and they flopped, and then they eventually had to claw their way back. GTA 6 was supposed to be released, right? The expectation of GTA 6. It's crazy. People have more access to data now.
Well, also keep in mind that when GTA 6 finally releases, the rumored $100 price tag will be another major shift in the industry. I mean, over the past couple of years, we've seen the prices of video games increase and accessories increase. Never mind when that title finally launches.
I have a big one here. Why things have changed since 2020. This idea of toxic positivity, right? The idea that the industry, journalism is tied way too close to the industry. The idea of video game journalism, and if you don't toe the company line, then you are branded with as an istophobe. That's something that literally everybody here has been hit with over the years. This idea that if you're not saying everything's great and you're not why can't we just enjoy games, right? Prior to 2020, think about like how things have changed since then. It's changed a lot. This idea,
even if you go back to 2014 and the start of Gamergate 1, ethics in journalism does not exist anymore, and it's just gotten worse as time has gone on. Now the access media, the only reason why they're the media is because they have access, because they're getting paid, because they are being given opportunities, and that's a big reason why they of course still exist. Really, it's the only reason why, because their viewership is down so much. But trust in the media is at an all-time low. These companies, of course, need the media because they can't rely on independent creators who will actually speak the truth. And it has led to so many different outlets and also companies viewing gamers as these ists and phobes and just generally toxic people.
I think
if you
go ahead, Mike.
Well, I think if you also relate the cultural aspect of it in general, since COVID, you had everyone locked down inside their homes, forced to either play video games, doom scroll on their phone, and ingest digital content for, what was it, 18 months that we had to sit in our homes, locked down, unless your state was awesome and unlocked itself like Tennessee did.
Right.
But we were so consumed with this digital life and the digital age that we lost sight of humanity and community, and now we have to agree with said person because that is the end all be all, and we lost the ability to form our own opinions. And if you have your own opinion, whoa, you can't do that. You get canceled if you have your own opinion, if you don't agree with the world right now, because they scared us into it with the shots and the lockdowns and the buying all the toilet paper and paper towels.
Well, I think when it comes to the gaming industry, I mean, it predates COVID.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this though. I mentioned No Man's Sky, right? No Man's Sky, when it was released, this was 2016. I vividly remember this. No Man's Sky was the big game that year. That was supposed to be the game of the year. When it came out, I was like, really? It was barren. It was kind of desolate, right? And obviously that's changed a lot over the last decade. But if you criticize No Man's Sky when it initially came out, it was met with backlash. You were told you were bad. If you look, this guy's giving it all. He's doing his best. And because if everything wasn't great and you didn't have this toxic positivity mindset, you were shunned, you were gone. And that really, I think the only thing that's happened in the last 5 years is that people have become more emboldened to be honest, which I think is a good thing. I think it's a great thing. You should definitely be more honest when it comes to your hobbies, because at the end of the day, you are the customer. Mm-hmm. You are voting with your wallet, and now you have the opportunity with social media to have direct impact on these companies on a day-to-day basis. So you should be loud. You should be honest with how you feel about these things.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, and you're talking about No Man's Sky, and it was terrible at release, and luckily they turned it around. But the same thing happened with Cyberpunk 2077. It was supposed to be a behemoth release, and it launched buggy, broken, had a lot of problems. And if you criticize that game, well, you were not being fair. You weren't giving them a chance. And yeah, sure, they also turned it around. Cyberpunk now with the Phantom Liberty expansion is like a 9 out of 10. It is a phenomenal game, but we've seen so many titles release and very few of them be able to turn it around. And look at the way that the media has talked to people that have criticized these games. And these are instances where our criticism truly did have a positive impact, because if we didn't criticize, No Man's Sky wouldn't have grown to what it is today. Cyberpunk probably wouldn't have grown to what it is today, but because gamers were vocal and spoke up, they turned things around, and gamers ultimately won.
And that's how it should be. Call of Duty.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well, this goes back to, we mentioned Call of Duty catering to the online content creators, right? This is why the idea of games media should not, there should be a totally independent when it comes to, that's why you see traditional news media outlets, I'm talking outside of gaming, that have relationships with the government or with this company or whatever. That's dangerous. It blurs the lines. And that has happened very much so, not just in traditional games media, but also with content creators, right? And they listen to these individual voices when not listening to the masses. So if online, if you're on X and people are going, yo, idiots, what are you doing? Stop. And you're going, no, there's just a bunch of idiots online, bunch of ist, phobes, whatever, right? That seems very brain dead, but that's what we've seen. And then people want to ideologically align. Well, they're saying this over on Blue Sky. They're saying this over on X, whatever it may be. And they listen to the voices that validate their own thoughts.
Yes.
Right.
Echo
So-
chamber.
Yes. And there you go, Shroud. That is why. That is why things have gotten so toxic in the last 5 years. People have gotten more emboldened to speak out and say, hey, fuckwits, not in my house, not with my money. Real simple.
Absolutely.
Maybe he's just been in his echo chamber for too long and now he's experiencing mean words.
Mean words.
Yeah.
Well,
Mean words.
He's made enough money to where he shouldn't have to worry about mean words. Homeboy's worth a lot of money. So, are you tired of all the nonsense? Yeah, you are. Hit the subscribe button right here and join us.